Growing your Instagram account can sometimes feel like navigating through a dark forest of confusion without a map, without a flashlight. Okay, that's a weird analogy. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that growing your Instagram account can feel super overwhelming when you don't know what steps to take in the right direction. This is the moment where you get offers coming out of the woodwork. We can give you hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of followers overnight. And that's when you start making these mistakes. So for today's video, I've partnered with Hype Auditor. It's a site that I've found to give you actually the most in-depth and accurate analytics for your Instagram account I've ever come across. Hype Auditor's reports help give you a better understanding of your growth, your following, and your engagement. There's no more confusion. You know exactly where you stand and where you're going. And if you've made one of these 4 mistakes that I'm going to mention, Hype Auditor knows about it, and it shows up in those analytics. Mistake number 1, you're in an engagement pod. What an engagement pod is it's basically like a mini messaging group on Instagram. So it's about 10 to 15 people, and every time you post a photo on Instagram, you go into that group and you go, hey guys, I just posted a photo on Instagram. Then they all flock over to that post and they like it and they comment on it, and you're expected to do the same for the other people in that group. Nice try, but this still isn't authentic engagement, and it doesn't help your numbers at all. Mistake number 2, buying followers, likes, and comments. Just when you think that no one can tell, we can tell. Even without a tool like Hype Auditor, a lot of these things are pretty easy to spot. With the comments, for example, usually they're really generic. They're like, wow, so cool. Or it's just like a happy face and a heart or something completely random that has nothing to do with the photo. And usually these accounts are following thousands of people, and they're from some country that's way far away from wherever you live, and they haven't posted anything in months to years. It doesn't take a genius to spot these, but tools like Hype Auditor are really good at measuring how many there are. And that's really not gonna help your numbers. So save yourself some money and just do it the old-fashioned way. Mistake number 3 is the forever irritating follow for a follow. Basically, if you're not familiar with what this is already, it's when someone comes to you and they go, hey, I'll follow you if you follow me back. And you're thinking, well, that sounds like a pretty okay deal. Maybe I'll do that. But then you realize you're following just as many people that follow you. So then you start unfollowing those people, thinking that they won't notice and that they'll just stick around, and then you can still have as many followers as you had. Realistically, they just sit there as inauthentic, unengaged followers. So you might as well just flush your engagement right down the toilet. Okay, first things first. Chris made this mess and I didn't want to clean it up. So now it's my background. Mistake number 4 is using a bot to comment on other people's photos for you. The hope of this is that the person whose photo the bot just commented on will notice you and then go and follow you back. But the thing is, like I just mentioned, we can spot these a mile away. So just stop. Thanks. When you're approaching brands to work with, you need to show a comprehensive analysis of your account. So it's not necessarily just how many followers you have, it's how much engagement you have and how much authentic engagement you have. Hype Auditor makes this super easy for you. So what I thought it would be fun to do right now is if we took a look at my Instagram account, and then I can show you guys some of the key numbers you should be paying attention to and what really matters for your next brand deal. The first and one of the most important rankings on this page is your audience quality score. So this is a number given to you out of 100. The closer you are to 100, the more likely you are to have a high quality audience. So this is based on 3 factors. Your engagement rate, which is the percentage of followers that are engaged with your content. Your followers' reachability, so that's the percentage of followers who will actually see your post on their feed. And last but not least, your authentic engagement. So that's a percentage of real people that are engaged with your content. Your authentic engagement is a key number here because it allows you to directly see how many of these fake accounts and the follow-unfollow accounts are actually following you. Your authentic engagement is divided up into 4 types of followers. So you have your real people, influencers, mass followings, and suspicious accounts. What you really don't want is those mass followings and the suspicious accounts. Those are bad and are gonna bring down your engagement. The next section you wanna look at is the followers and following graph. This is a great way to tell whether your growth is organic or not. What you wanna see on this graph is steady growth. A lot of really big spikes and really low lows can indicate something's fishy going on. But always make sure that you're double checking that Instagrammer's account, because these large spikes could be caused by a shout out or a giveaway or something like that. It's not necessarily an artificially boosted account. The next rating on this report that you guys need to pay attention to is your comment authenticity rating. The more of these suspicious comments, the lower your comment authenticity rating. These suspicious comments look like those single word comments or just those emoji comments that I mentioned earlier. This is exactly where we can detect those engagement bots. Leave those aside and really try and ensure that you're getting authentic comments. This is super important in determining your overall engagement, because true engaged comments mean a higher engagement rating. So this was a really brief rundown of some of the things that I think you guys need to pay attention to in these Hype Auditor reports and what brands are going to be looking at when they're working with you as well. But like I said, there's tons more detail about each of these sections, and there's even more information in these reports that I didn't even mention right now. So I'm going to link a few articles in the description below to give you an even further description in the description below, more of a description about some of these reports and what they mean for you and your Instagram account. Having one of these reports is super important for you. You get to measure exactly where you are in your Instagram account, where you're going. You can see what works for your following and what doesn't. So it's real numbers that you can make work for you. The number one thing that brands always have trouble with when they're working with an influencer is seeing numbers and seeing real results. So being able to hand over a report like this means so much to a brand. If you guys want to get a hold of your own report for your Instagram account, check out the link in the description below with my promo code so you can see where you stand. And last but not least, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like down below, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I post new videos every week. And I'll see you guys later.